Hi, welcome to the Sports Philanthropy broadcast live from Radio Row at Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles. We've had a great week, and we're excited now to have Rodney McLeod with us. Rodney, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate you guys for allowing me to sit down and talk about my foundation for a little bit.
Well, I know that you're getting pulled a lot of directions, so we want to jump right into things. You've done a great job over your career, really looking at how you can help communities. Tell us a little bit about your foundation and how you develop those passions.
Yeah, Change Our Future really stemmed from the passion that both my wife and I share for kids, but more importantly, our community as well. We wanted to, we felt like we wanted to pour more into the community. And how do we do that? How do we leave our mark? And how do we make a difference, between the two of us? And one thing that I love about my wife is her passion for kids, and so we carry that mantra into Change Our Future, and that's kids first. And that's really in a lot of different areas, but we have now come to this point that we feel like we're a youth development organization, one that really focuses on mentorship, focuses on college and career exposure, and also the educational component in STEM. And we think those areas really set these kids up for success. And we're addressing the urban communities, kids that look just like Erica and I, black and brown kids who often do not get the same amount of attention as others, or the same amount of funding, or the same amount of resources that fortunately Erica and I were able to be able to have as young children, and really set us up for success, being able to attend a university like the University of Virginia, where both of us attended. Myself, taking a different route. I played sports. That was my way in, right, to college and being able to receive a full scholarship. Erica, on the other hand, she was able to get educational scholarships to attend the University of Virginia. But then you have this pool of kids who are either they don't get the resources needed to even put them in position to be able to go to a four-year university. Two, they don't necessarily know how to apply, how that all works or navigates, right? And so that's where us at Change Our Future wants to come in and fill that void, kind of break down those barriers that have existed for those kids for so long, and that ultimately are continue to happen, that you see on a regular basis. So we want to pour back into those individuals. We feel as though mentorship is a huge step. You're able to provide guidance, provide a support system, be able to stand alongside and walk beside that child, to help them make better decisions, to share some wisdom about things that you've experienced in your life, to make their lives that much better. So that's the first step. The second is what I just spoke about: college and career, like exposure. We have identified that in the Black community, there aren't, unfortunately, that many examples, right, of doctors or lawyers. I think typically, in myself speaking from experiences, we saw the only way to success was either as an athlete, entertainer, and so we have to allow those kids to know that there's more to it, right? You don't have to become this product in your environment, and know that people do truly care about you, and expose them to a lot of these experiences in the world to create hope, to create, ultimately a better life for those individuals, for them to inspire, right? And I think that in itself is very beneficial. And my wife is passionate about the medical field, so I know she's going to take that take that on. I think that kind of converts over into STEM, and how a lot of jobs nowadays are surfacing those areas: science, tech, engineer, mathematics. And so if we get them, thinking about these things early on, thinking about, okay, if I put myself in a position, if I learn about it now, that's going to set me up for a solid career, right? A solid job, a 4-year university, or a great skill set to be able to eliminate the poverty that also exists. Because there's direct correlation to a lot. Education, lack of education can lead to poverty. Poverty leads to violence. So we're trying to control all of that, and how do we find ways to prevent those from happening? And that's why we have chosen to really target those areas specifically, because of what it can do, and how it can set these kids up for success that we're all looking for and seeking.
It's so important because, as you talked about, the sports business world now is so sophisticated. There's so many opportunities for people to have a career in sports beyond playing the game, and giving the kids the skills that they need through that type of STEM education, through all of the other educational areas, right? As you say, keeping them away from some of the negative influences. But if they focus on education, if they have the athletic ability, they can still have that pro career. But now it's giving them options.
Correct. And that's one thing we always emphasize. I host a youth camp back in my hometown in PG County, Maryland, every summer. And one thing that I explain to those kids is, not many of you are going to be standing up here like myself. Some might have the opportunity, and that could be short-lived. We call the NFL not for long for a reason, because very few make it past year 3. I've been fortunate enough to make it to year 10, and it's been hard. You have a lot of favorites on your side as well to get to this level. But what is education. No one can take. College degree that I have from the University of Virginia, that I worked very hard to achieve for myself. It's something that is hanging on my wall for a reason. Something that I'm proud of, that I can always revert back to, knowing that will take me a lot further than this game will. Within the game provides you, gives you access, right, to a lot. Access to where we are right now, having the ability to talk about my foundation, and hoping that more people hear about it and want to get involved, whether that's through time or that's through funding. But what you do on this platform is very important. How you utilize it is key. And so, I try to just do my best to be an inspiration to all, to show that, things that LeBron talks about, being more than an athlete is real, and people are living it. And I am an example of that. Whether that's me being a philanthropist, me being a businessman, and of course me doing what I need to do. You can do anything that you put your mind to, and don't allow anybody to limit you, place you in this box and say that you need to do all of that. Utilize, and capitalize, and more importantly, use your God-given ability to create.
Rodney, I love what you're saying, all about creating hope and possibility through sport, really inspiring the young people. Let's start with that. We're asking you to hold up your nice and close to the camera, because every little kid wants one of those, and every grown man, woman as well. Rodney, I love when you talk about creating hope and possibility for black and brown people. I'm writing a book right now called Normalize Black Wealth. I think it's a topic that needs to be discussed. I think it's even more important we talk about black and brown women and girls. What is your message for the black and brown women and girls out there who want that same Super Bowl ring, and we know they're never going to get one in this lifetime at least?
Yeah, I think, for all of the black and brown women out there, like I just said earlier, man, don't allow anyone to write your story. You write your own story. You determine how you want your future to go, right? And there's a lot of great examples out there now of women in hierarchy, women who are successful, that look just like you, that you can pinpoint. You just look at Michelle Obama, prime example. She's an incredible woman who advocates for women empowerment, and it's somebody that my wife like truly like envies, and it's for so many different reasons, man. And she's a woman who's powerful, who's very educated, beautiful, and has a lot of like confidence about her. And so when you look at that alone, should be inspiring and give these hope that they so just live out your dreams, and that anything is possible. Uh,
And Rodney, when you talk about living out your dreams, we talked about the Change Our Future Foundation. I know, I pray that a lot of people look at you going like, oh my gosh, look at this. Rodney talking about his foundation. He has a great story, a great message. I want to get behind that. So first of all, if people want to follow you on social media, how are they to do that? Second of all, if they want to live generously with our foundation, how are they to interact with that, Rodney?
So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can go to Rod McLeod 4. That's my Instagram tag, and then Twitter, Rodney underscore McLeod 4 is my Twitter handle. And if you want to find out more about Change Our Future, what we have coming up, what the work that we've done in the past in the community, and how you can either be a volunteer at some of our future events, or even generously donate, you can go to changeourfuture.org. Everything also lives on my Instagram page. You can go to Change Our Future Fund. That's our IG tag. But like I said, if you just go to my Instagram, you'll see the handles in my bio. And so, yeah, man, like we stress all the time and Change Our Future how there's power in numbers, there's strength in numbers, and we understand that we can't do this alone, right? We're not the only organization that's fighting for kids, fighting for equality in education, fighting for all these sorts of things to change. Like, we're one of many. And so we're asking that, hey, people, same way you support other, nonprofits, to support us and our mission and what we're trying to accomplish here for a lot of kids, not only in the Philadelphia community, but we're looking to touch, back in my hometown in Maryland, and as well as my wife being from New York. So it's just a blessing to be in this position, to be able to hopefully make an impact in a huge way for a lot of these kids.
Clearly, Rodney, you are working hard. You and your wife, Erica, are working hard to build stronger, healthier, and more inclusive communities through sports. I applaud you and Erica for what you're doing. I want to say thank you as a single mom to 8 children living in Milwaukee for the work you're doing to create hope and possibility. I need what you're doing as much as the kids that you're helping in Philadelphia and New York, right? So thank you from a very heartfelt, personal level. Roy, why don't you do us a favor and close us out?
Thanks, Kayla. Rodney, we appreciate you taking the time to join us. One of the things I really liked in that message is that you're helping people understand that they don't have to be a Super Bowl champion or an NFL player to make a difference, that they can come alongside and work with you and really impact their communities. And I think that's critical. And I applaud you for giving them that message. So thank you again on behalf of Caleb Bradham and myself. We want to thank all of our viewers and listeners for Sports Philanthropy Network. I want to thank Rodney for joining us on the show from Super Bowl 56 Radio Row at the LA Convention Center. Please remember to live generously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.